I can't lie, man. I have to give the Democrats some credit because the way that they keep black people voting for them over and over and over and over and over again, despite never fulfilling any of their promises, is really amazing to me. Because I don't understand how they keep doing this and getting away with it. I really don't. And it just goes to show, like, the relationship between the Democrat Party and black people is like the abusive husband who continues to beat the wife on a day-to-day basis, and the wife keeps coming back to the abusive husband because the husband always says, I love you, and I promise you that I'm going to get better. I'm going to be a better husband. But they never can actually come together and agree on a plan before they decide to get back together, so that there are clear expectations outlined for what is going to fix this relationship. And that's what's happening with Joe Biden. But before we get in that, my name is Greg Foreman, and you're watching A Black Conservative Perspective. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share. A Black Conservative Perspective, aka a leftist worst nightmare. You can also follow me on Twitter at GForemanBCP. But right before we get into this, guys, you guys know I am currently fighting the war on flushable wipes. That's right. Wipes clog your pipes. They can cost your local municipality millions of taxpayer dollars to clean out those wipes. It can also cost you thousands of dollars in plumbing if you are currently using flushable wipes. My solution to this problem, my business, my startup is called Ashi. Ashi is an eco-friendlier alternative to flushable wipes. It is sleek, modern, simple design that looks great in any bathroom. Very easy to use product. Makes the perfect Christmas/holiday present for friends and family. So if you're looking to upgrade your wipe, or you're looking for an eco-friendlier solution to flushable wipes, check out Ashi at ashihome.com. 10% of net proceeds will go to Toys for Tots. Let's get it. All right, guys. So, James Clyburn, who's a Democratic representative out of South Carolina, told The Hill that Joe Biden has fallen short when it comes to appointing black people to his cabinet. Essentially, what he's telling Joseph Biden is that your cabinet ain't black enough. That's what he's saying. So, Clyburn, who's a Biden ally, played a crucial role in helping secure the president-elect's path to the White House during the Democratic primary. His endorsement was pivotal in reviving the former VP campaign when it appeared to be flailing. The backing preceded Biden's win in South Carolina, Clyburn's home state, which was largely driven by wide support among black voters. So, Clyburn helped Joe Biden in South Carolina when Biden was struggling during the primaries. And he helped turn out a lot of black voters in South Carolina to come and vote for Biden. Okay? Now, before Biden named Kamala Harris as his running mate in August, Clyburn called for a black woman to be named in that role. So Biden did fulfill his promise on naming a black woman to be vice president. Now, Clyburn has expressed support for the selection of Linda Thomas Greenfield, a black diplomat who served in the Obama administration, to be ambassador to the United Nations. But Clyburn said that choice was not enough. You got a black woman as vice president, or so-called black woman, maybe, Indian to some people or whatever, right? And then you have an ambassador to the United Nations who's a black woman, but apparently that's not enough. He says, quote, "From what I hear, black people have been given fair consideration, but there is only one black woman so far." How do these people do math? Like, you don't consider the vice president, who is a so-called black woman, to be enough, right? Like, you don't consider her to be a part of the picks. Quote, "I want to see where this process leads and what it produces, but so far it's not good." An official with Biden's transition team told The Hill the diversity of the cabinet, quote, "will be clear when our full slate of appointees and nominees is complete." Let's take a look at Biden's current cabinet picks. Now, guys, I understand that, most of us are hoping and praying and expecting President Trump to remain in office. But I do think it is important to at least acknowledge that Biden is trying to pick a cabinet just in case worst case scenario happens. So it is important to know who it is and who he is picking, just in case he actually does end up in office, even though a lot of us aren't necessarily expecting that. For Secretary of State, he has Anthony J. Blinken. And this is how the liberals look at this. White guy, right? National Security Advisor is Jake Sullivan, who is as white as he could be. Right? I'm just looking at it from the liberal perspective here. This is how they look at this stuff. UN Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield. Special Presidential Envoy for Climate John F. Kerry, white guy. Treasury Secretary Janet L. Yellen, white woman. And this is a very interesting pick because she was the former chair of the Federal Reserve. So I really need to make a video sometimes in the near future to discuss what this could possibly mean if Biden takes office. And then we have Director of National Intelligence, Avril D. Haines, who's a white woman. At least she looks white. I don't know. But the Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro N. Mayorkas. I'll imagine from his name he might be Hispanic, but he's a white-looking Hispanic guy. And there's some other key positions that are still up for grabs. But, guys, as you notice here, there are no progressives in Biden's cabinet. That's the thing, man. Like, the Democrats have stiff-armed the progressives, and then they have black people still complaining about, oh, there's not enough black people. Like, how many cabinet positions are there really? I mean, like, out of these right here, I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 7. And then if you throw Kamala as vice president, that's 8. So 2 out of 8 of these major positions, right? 2 are black women. Aren't the Democrats the one always talking about how, oh man, everything got to be proportional to population? What, black women are what, only 6% of the population? So they are overrepresented in Biden's cabinet, and yet they're still complaining. Now, don't get me wrong here, guys. I'm not the type of person where I'm like, oh, black people shouldn't be in the cabinet. No, I would like to see black people in the cabinet just like anybody else, obviously. But at the same time, what I would like to see more than just black people in the cabinet is that I would like to see a diversity of ideas, not just a diversity of color. A diversity of color doesn't mean anything if all the ideas are the same, especially if you call yourself a so-called black progressive. If you're a black progressive, why does it matter if he picks black people in his cabinet if they're going to not be progressive and if they're a part of the establishment? And that's what confuses me about how these progressives think. They're so caught up in this diversity thing that if they had an all-white male Biden cabinet who were all progressives, right? Let's say Bernie Sanders was in every single role. They would say it's a bad cabinet because it's not diverse enough in race, even though everybody in the cabinet aligns with their ideas. That's what they would say. And also, why is it that black people want to come to Biden after they done elected him and say, you owe me something? Why didn't you negotiate this before you elected him? It's the same thing with that founder from Black Lives Matter that's going to Biden and Kamala talking about we need to meet. We need to talk about what you can do for us. We need you to put our people in your cabinet. Why would they do that after you done already gave them the votes? You hate Donald Trump so much that you're going to vote for Biden and just roll the dice. When if they just would have reached out to President Trump, I don't know, maybe you could have worked something out. Maybe President Trump would have came to an agreement about, okay, this is what we'll try to work towards in my administration, and I'll actually go out here and vouch for it. And this is why I keep telling people, man, the Democrats only care about their establishment agenda. They use race as a tool to push their establishment agenda. President Trump, on the other hand, does not have an establishment agenda. President Trump's agenda was whatever is best for the American people. Ice Cube was the only man that's smart enough to be like, let me actually go talk to the Republicans and see what they may be willing to do. Lo and behold, they implemented some of his ideas in their plan. Now, regardless of whether or not the Platinum Plan could have actually been executed, who knows? But at least they put out a plan that if they didn't execute on, you could hold their feet to the fire and say you didn't execute on this plan. Biden, on the other hand, He ain't gonna make you no promises. He just said, vote for me first, and then I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. That's what he did. And like always, they gave black people and the progressives the old okie doke. It's the oldest trick in the book, man. And they continue to fall for it over and over and over and over and over again. All the Democrats got to do is say a Republican or Trump is racist, and it's almost like it doesn't even matter. My thing is, they act surprised by this. Do you not know that this is the man, Biden, that said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black? You think this man thinks he has to actually work for your vote? No, he don't think he got to work for your vote. He doesn't think he has to do anything. He already told you, I don't have to do nothing for you. So why do you believe that when he actually gets in office, he's going to elect everybody that you want in his cabinet? His whole campaign was, I'm not Trump. That was his whole campaign. So if he runs on a platform like that, why do you believe that he would do anything for you? You required nothing from him. You hated Trump so much that you required nothing from Biden, and now you crying because he's not putting the people that you want in his cabinet. Well, you should have been like, no, we're going to vote for Trump unless you promise to put these people in your cabinet. But this just shows how weak the black Democrats and the black progressives are. They don't even understand how to play politics. So it's really sad, man. But at the same time, it's actually pretty funny as well to see black people and progressives continue to fall for the okie doke from the establishment Democrats over and over and over again. So that's my take on that. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.